Greetings, my dear ones. Today, with the help of these magical channels, mystical cards, and my own deep intuition, we will be looking closely into the reasons why there are currently no relationships in your life.
To start off, we begin the reading with the first question. Why do you think you don't have a relationship? And then the second card will provide an answer to, why is there really no relationship at this time? We will now reveal these cards one by one, and then we shall continue with the rest of the reading. So, in your opinion, the primary reason you currently don't have a romantic relationship is, quite interestingly, because the specific person who truly deserves your full attention, that very high quality person with whom you want to build a lasting relationship, has not yet appeared in your life. But what is the real reason? Look, in reality, the person destined for you simply hasn't come into your life yet. This is absolutely crucial. That is, at this very moment, you are waiting for the person who is meant to be with you, the one who you truly need, and who is, in a very real way, predestined by your own fate. That's how interestingly things have turned out, in fact. The specific person who is truly destined to be with you may not be quite ready yet. Or perhaps you yourself are not yet ready for this period, for this stage. Let's see whether you are, first and foremost, ready for a relationship, or if, for example, solitude is what you need right now. So here we will look at whether there is a secondary benefit to not being in a relationship. Look right here, the Six of Swords card comes up in your reading. This specific card suggests that, in actual reality, you yourself are not really quite ready to move forward just yet either. Right now, you yourself are in a period of transformation. You are still moving towards something, even though you are already standing there, already looking ahead. And it seems like you are ready, but in reality, not quite yet. Yes, you are ready to step into this story, but you yourself are not yet fully formed for this partner. Meaning, there is still something important you need to go through in order to reach this partner, according to the Judgment card, once again. This is your destined partner. What do you want to get from a relationship? Let's take a look now. Look, if we dive deeper, what you are truly searching for in a relationship is a sense of profound peace and quiet. This is because there is a complex psychological aspect at play where you still subconsciously perceive relationships as a form of constant struggle, a situation where for some reason you feel an internal pressure that you have to prove your worth. But in reality, of course, your heart's true desire is to finally find a lasting sense of tranquility and emotional stability with someone else. Let us take a moment to look at specifically what you don't want to get from a relationship, or to put it in another way, what you are actually afraid of in your personal relationships. The truth is, you are simply too afraid to confront the actual truth within your relationship. There is a very strong sense of fear here. Specifically the fear of being disappointed. So again, this points to previous negative experiences in relationships. And here it's specifically focused on the deep-seated fear of being disappointed. And once again, finding yourself in a position where you are leaving the relationship. Now let's look at moving forward to the very next question. What exactly do you need to change within yourself, and what do you need to let go of in order to be in a couple, so that you can finally meet the person who is truly meant to be your destined partner? You are an incredibly independent person, and this particular trait really stands out in you. It is very noticeable to everyone you meet. This intense need for control can actually end up pushing a potential partner away from you. So, in order for your destined partner to finally come into your life, you really need to work on becoming a bit less rigid. You need to stop constantly prioritizing stability and logic over your true inner feelings, and stop being so fiercely independent all the time. Moving on to the next question, what exactly are you willing to give up today? you are capable of giving up truly immature relationships, casual relationships. In other words, relationships that don't even come close to any kind of maturity. These are just casual romances, which can be passionate. Here, there's also the possibility of letting go of your impulsiveness, including the tendency to jump from one person to another. And here you are ready to give up the constant search for a partner, so to speak. In other words, right now you are truly ready to mature when it comes to relationships. And now let's see what you are absolutely not ready to give up. And you see, you are not at all ready to give up the established rhythm of your life, everything you've invested so much in, everything you've built. You are not ready to give up your life path, your life rhythm. You don't want to and are not ready to explain your past efforts. And I completely understand you here. I absolutely agree with you, because it seems that any mature, perfectly reasonable person is truly not ready to reconsider their entire life. After all, a partner comes into our lives to make them much better and easier, not more complicated. So, what specific advice do the cards offer in this whole situation while you are waiting for your destined partner while you are not quite ready yet? Here, you need to overcome the fear of disappointment and yet another breakup or separation. You need to cope with and move through this stage to become less self-assured, confident, and independent. You need to stop seeking in relationships the need to prove something or to defend yourself. And what do the cards advise us in this whole story? The cards actually specifically advise you not to rush things here. You really need to wait to give it some time. You need to patiently wait for your partner to be ready. So what is the final outcome? Let's say, for example, now we are going to look at whether there will be a relationship, and we are taking a full period of 6 months from the moment of this publication of this video. Look, unfortunately, for the near future, within the next 6 months, the cards show a very low probability that the fateful partner will appear. But listen, overall, if you look at it this way, if you are ready to wait for your destined person, I think 6 months is not a long time, and even a year isn't either. Let's look at a year. Suppose we check whether there will be a relationship. What is the probability if we take a time frame of 1 year? Unfortunately, the answer is no. For the near and foreseeable future, even for a full year, the cards still do not show that you will meet your soulmate. Your destined person will finally come to you once you have successfully gone through all of these essential life stages. I truly wish you every success. Gain the very experience that you still need right now. Work on yourself. I am quite certain that in the near future, you will definitely meet your destined person.